Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into an absolutely fantastic explainer. We are basically taking the core concepts from Chapter 11 on tourism and turning the whole shebang into a step-by-step project brief. Whether you're a student trying to nail your Kushal Vikas coursework or a budding tour operator who really wants to figure out the mechanics of local tourism, this explainer is built entirely around giving you a structured, actionable blueprint. We're going to break down exactly how you can plan, launch, and manage a local tourism service right in your own neighborhood.
Right off the bat, I want to share this incredibly beautiful piece of ancient wisdom from the Subhashito Ratna Bhandagara. It translates to, one who travels the world and one who serves the learned, their intelligence expands, just as a drop of oil expands on water. I just love that imagery. It perfectly hooks us into the why of this whole chapter. Travel isn't just about moving from point A to point B. It's this deep cultural exchange that fundamentally enriches us. It expands our minds and helps us understand people way beyond our immediate bubbles.
And look, when we talk about travel, especially in India, we are talking about a massive, sprawling industry. Think about the famous Incredible India campaign. This is a country where every few kilometers, literally everything changes. The land, the language, the food, the stories. But at the heart of all that beautiful chaos is a single unifying philosophy, Atithi Devo Bhava. It literally means guests are equivalent to gods. So if you're stepping into the shoes of a service provider, that mindset is absolutely your baseline. It's day one stuff for delivering an unforgettable experience.
Okay, so here is our itinerary for today's explainer. We'll kick off with the philosophy of travel, map out scoping and planning, do a little field research, figure out tools and consent, nail down execution and safety, and finally wrap it up with a post-tour review.
All right, let's hit the road. Stop number 1, the philosophy of travel, where we're going to discover Incredible India's specific niches. Tourism today isn't just about hopping on a generic, crowded sightseeing bus anymore. Not at all. It's all about highly specific niches. You've got tribal and cultural heritage tourism, where you're actually meeting artists and elders. You've got cycling and walking trails through old historic towns. River, lake, and forest tourism for the nature buffs. Even spiritual and wellness journeys, like immersive yoga camps. Let me challenge you right now. Think about your own neighborhood. What hidden gems are sitting right down your street? Could you, say, organize a walking trail through a famous local food market? The opportunities are literally right outside your front door.
But, and this is a massive but, the crucial point here is accountability. Modern travel demands it. Responsible tourism means leaving zero waste, keeping noise levels down, and fiercely protecting the natural habitat. Actually, scratch that. It's not just a nice suggestion. It is a non-negotiable, absolute golden rule for modern travel, and it has to be the foundation of whatever service you build.
So, with that philosophy locked in, let's pivot to the practical side of things. Stop number 2, scoping and planning. This is where we build our project pipeline. Step 1 is needs identification, figuring out what exactly you're doing and why. Step 2, you make a process chart. Why is this so important? Because winging it just leads to chaos, right? A solid chart organizes your tasks and keeps everything safe and on schedule. Then comes delivering the service, followed immediately by feedback and reflection. Honestly, if you skip any step in this pipeline, the whole thing could just crumble. But hold on, before you jump to step 3 and start actually delivering anything, you've got to get out of the classroom. Which brings us to our third stop, field research. You can't just build a great service sitting behind a desk. You have to do a site visit. You need to be out there physically verifying routes on a map. More importantly, you need to be talking face-to-face with the local practitioners. This is where you pick up the real-world daily grinds, like how to actually handle payments, how to address tourists properly, and what quality standards really mean out in the wild. You learn directly from the experts on the ground. All right, field research is done. Now we're moving into the less glamorous, but honestly, super essential stuff. Stop 4, the business of tourism, focusing on tools, costs, and consent. Let's dive right into this data. A true professional knows exactly how to match the right tool to the job, but safety always takes the front seat. Sure, a smartphone is amazing for digital mapping, but if you're staring at a screen while crossing a busy street, yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. And GPS? Super helpful, but please verify your routes in advance. We've all heard those crazy stories of GPS leading cars straight into a river, right? Don't just follow it blindly. Even something as simple as a portable speaker needs managing so you don't break those responsible tourism noise rules we talked about earlier.
Speaking of resources, you're going to need a bill of materials or a BOM. Now, the obvious costs are obvious. Printing maps, buying water bottles. But here's the kicker. A pro anticipates the hidden costs. You literally have to budget for the unpredictable. Sudden weather delays, the higher logistical costs of reaching remote areas, even your own prep time. Your financial plan has to be just as bulletproof as your itinerary.
And then there's the paperwork. I know, for a young entrepreneur, the phrase consent form sounds super intimidating, but it's really not. It is absolutely not some scary, strict legal document. It's just a communication tool. It clearly lays out what you're providing, what the tourists can expect, and what they need to be responsible for. It's all about building mutual trust so there's zero confusion before the tour even kicks off. All right, paperwork is sorted. It's time for the main event. Stop number 5, execution and safety. This is where all that preparation meets reality.
When you are finally out there delivering this guided experience, your biggest job is not just rattling off historical facts. It's keeping your people safe and comfortable. That means you're constantly watching out, offering a hand on uneven ground, noticing when someone desperately needs a water break, and just making sure everyone feels secure. You are a caretaker just as much as you are a guide.
To pull that off seamlessly, you need what the text calls a script. And by script, I don't mean a boring list of facts. You want to craft a compelling mini-narrative. Mix up the cool local history with the boring operational rules. Like if you're visiting a place of worship, weave the whole "please take off your shoes" instruction naturally right into the story of the site. A solid script keeps everyone entertained while secretly managing all the logistics and safety stuff.
So, the tour wraps up. Everyone goes home, but your job isn't quite done yet. Our final stop? The post-tour review.
Here's the truth. Quality services are never, ever perfect on the very first try. They evolve because the person running them actually listens. Gathering feedback is the absolute key to user-centric improvement. You've got to swallow your pride and ask, did I meet your needs? What was the best part? What totally needs fixing for next time? This reflection step closes the loop on your whole process chart and guarantees your service gets better every single time.
To wrap up this explainer, I want to hit you with a pretty provocative scenario straight from the textbook's assessment section. Imagine this. You're leading a tour, everything's going great, and suddenly your bus completely breaks down in the middle of nowhere. Based on everything we've talked about today, how do you maintain your tourists' trust? How do you keep them safe? What prep work from your planning phase is going to save your skin in this exact unexpected moment? Keep that active, problem-solving mindset running as you start building your own local service. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, Focus Learners. Until next time, keep exploring.